Welcome back, everyone, to We Talk Film Podcast. I'm your host, Barry, joined by Clayton, as always. How you doing, Clayton?
Oh, but you're rushing through the intro. What's going on?
It's just straight in there today. I'm pumped. I'm ready. We're back on a scheduled time today. That's why it's only like 3, 4, 5 days since the last podcast episode got released. It's only been 3 days since we released the other podcast, and we're already recording another one. Right. This is the shortest turnaround time ever. It's great. I love it.
I mean, I guess, but it was 2 weeks prior to that one, so
yeah, true.
Nobody's gonna notice. It's fine. A lot has happened in those 3 days. We've been very busy over here at We Talk Film headquarters. We have headquarters. We have our own office.
We have
building.
a headquarters.
Where you're not invited.
Where would we be based? Where would we be
based? Yeah. Probably somewhere cool, like top of a pyramid, like one of the ones you're not allowed to go to in Egypt.
I thought you meant like Las Vegas pyramid, because we're not allowed in Egypt because of that one incident. Yeah.
Like top floor of a casino?
No, but like a pyramid. You know how like they have iconic reproductions that are just a little bit smaller than like world things like the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have a pyramid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's also a casino. Like you can go in there.
We're on the top.
Okay, all right.
Top left.
Speaking of top left, Barry, throw us on over to our top left section of the show, as I like to call it, the newsroom.
The newsroom. Yep, the top left section. That's what the news is called now. It's in the top left. That's where we keep it, in the top left corner of our screen.
It's true. It's up there. Up there. You can see it. First thing I'd like to mention, we got a new trailer for what is essentially John Wick 4.5, The Ballerina.
Oh, yes.
This time, we're going to look at John Wick. Keanu Reeves is back, or is this a prequel?
This is a prequel to number 4.
I'm not sure. It's a prequel to 4. Okay, thanks for clarifying. That was my entire question.
It's like John Wick 3.5, essentially.
Okay, well, what are your thoughts on this trailer? Because it shows a lot of action. It's very John Wicky. All of our favorite characters return.
Yeah. Even Lance Reddick's back in it somehow.
They filmed it before he passed away.
Yes, I know.
One of his final roles.
That was one of his final roles and everything like that. But yeah, no, I was quite surprised because like we didn't hear much of it or saw much of it during like production or that it was happening and stuff like that. And then now just all of a sudden there's like, oh, here's a trailer, it's coming out. Also, Keanu Reeves. I thought they were trying to keep that like a big, like quiet thing, but no, they just put him in the trailer for it. And I suppose like it's just more of the John Wick universe, so it's just like seeing what they can do as potential spin-offs, because apparently they still want to make 5 and everything like that, but it's kind of hard because I think Keanu Reeves doesn't want to keep doing this.
I'm not sure. Well, he did this one.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, at least he's keen to return after 4, which I wasn't sure. I felt like if that was going to be a cutoff, that would be the cutoff.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll come back for 5, and they'll bring him back to life in some way, just to keep the story going.
Yeah.
This looks fun. Yeah. I'm all for more John Wick. The first John Wick is a masterpiece. The other ones, it's been a slow decline, but they're still great fun.
Number 4 was still pretty cool.
They were all good. I've loved all of them.
Yeah.
I've rated them all highly. I just don't think like the subsequent ones had the magic of the first one or the realism of the first one, which I enjoyed so much. But that's fine. It's become a big thing. I'm all for that. Okay, Apple TV put out a statement saying that apparently they lose over $1 billion a year on their TV program, despite having incredible hits like the Severance show and Ted Lasso and stuff. So they're losing $1 billion a year to keep this streaming service going and create these things.
Why? Is it just because they don't have enough users? That's a bit odd.
I'm not sure. We don't know why. Apparently, I say this like this is affecting them. $1 billion a year is not affecting them at all. Their annual income, Barry. If you were to guess how much Apple makes a year, just as a whole, how much would you reckon? What's their annual revenue sitting at?
Probably like $1 trillion.
You're not far off. It's $391 billion a year.
Fuck.
That's more money than anyone ever needs. So them losing $1 billion a year to a streaming service
is not a lot.
It's nothing. and it's giving them a lot of goodwill. That's what it's paying for. It's giving shows that are really good, that people love. So therefore, they're going to be like more into Apple stuff.
Yep.
So really, they're not losing anything. So that was just a surprising thing that they put out. I was like, they're losing $1 billion. Oh my god! And then I'm like, oh wait, no, it's Apple.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. They make this much a year.
That's like me losing, I don't know, like a coat hanger. That's the equivalent, I feel.
Oh no, I lost 5 cents today.
Man. Oh no! See, that's not. I don't even think that's the comparison. Like, I think that's too much.
Fair.
Okay, next thing. A video game came out recently called Split Fiction. People are loving it. It's getting highly reviewed. It's a 2-player co-op adventure through all these fictional worlds of sci-fi and fantasy. It combines these genres, smashes them together. People are loving it so much that it's getting a film adaptation. Already, the game has been out for like a month or a month and a bit now.
Not even. I think it came out the start of this month.
Yeah, so probably like less than a month. This movie could be really cool. If you've seen anything of Split Fiction, just the visuals and just the game design of everything here, it looks just incredible. Very awe-inspiring, breathtaking stuff. I'm not sure how it'll translate to a film.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I'm surprised they haven't like done any of their other games as like a TV show or film yet, because currently you and I we're playing A Way Out, which is their second game, but it was the first game to like incorporate like 2 people playing split screen type thing, and like that is like a good driven story and everything like that, and like realistic, and you could get away with that for doing it for film and everything like that. But for like what they're doing, then it's like, oh yeah, we're going for the big Split Fiction one with both like medieval and sci-fi stuff in one film, and it's like, okay, good luck.
It could be cool. We are not aware of if it is live action or it's going to be animated or what. We know nothing else apart from that it's in the works. I'm curious to see what they'll do with it. I'm very excited. It would be very cool if they incorporate split screen into the film somehow.
Ooh,
and have give us a split screen cinema experience where stuff's happening on each side. Like, it would be mental. Like but with attention spans, it might work really well.
What was it? I think it was a Guy Ritchie film. It was like the Man from U.N.C.L.E. There was like a few scenes in there where like it would split off, and then you'd be following like Henry Cavill's character and like the other guy, and it'd be like showing their perspectives. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen that. Yeah, something like that would be really cool. You're just watching 2 things happen at once, or it just cuts back and forth between them.
Nice.
That could be cool. Who knows? Yeah, I guess we'll keep an eye out for that. Final story this week. We're getting what is probably the weirdest film adaptation that I've heard of in a while. This is a film adaptation of a Reddit thread.
Okay.
It is a okay, so there's a Reddit thread. I'm not quite sure how to like categorize them, but it's r/no sleep, which is a horror story. With the
I thought it was
subtitle
just me posting all the times I don't sleep.
Yeah, sure. It'd be very boring. Maybe it's just a guy awake and he's like, "Damn, I really wish I could sleep."
Damn.
2 hours later. But no, the subtitle or like the logline for it, I guess, is "I pretended to be a missing girl so I could rob her family." That's the line from the thread. That's a cool premise. Someone pretends to be missing in order to rob someone else. Sydney Sweeney is set to star in it. It's going to be a horror movie. Yeah. That's all we know. It's weird. It's based off a Reddit thread.
Based on a Reddit thread because we couldn't come up with other ideas, so we went to Reddit.
Original Reddit thread by and then whatever their username is. That's gonna be so weird. That's gonna be so weird to see.
And I guarantee you, the person that like wrote that thread or whatever is gonna get paid $0 for like making up this film.
Yeah, probably. Who knows, man? That's it for the news this week. Barry, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about a new film that came out this week. We're on top of it this time. Called Novocaine, and here's a little clip for that today.
You should see the other guy.
Tell me everything you know.
What's his name?
You gotta be careful, dude. You can still die. You're not Wolverine. You understand pain?
Oh, no, stop it. Oh! Wow, that hurt. That one hurt the most.
So, yes, we sat down and watched Clayton's first big film. He stars in it. We all see it right now. Clayton was in Novocaine.
Barry thinks I look like Jack Quaid, and it's getting really old.
I mean, like, we could just insert an image right there, right now. Editor, make sure you do that. Put, like, a picture of Jack Quaid and then a picture of Clayton. It's basically the same person.
I don't know. Let me know. If I look like Jack Quaid, I'm going to be sad.
You're just going to put, like, Jack Quaid and Jack Quaid.
God damn it. Okay. Yeah, so we watched Novocaine. I don't know if I've seen Jack Quaid in a feature film before.
I've seen him in Hunger Games.
At least,
but not as the
like
main
not
character.
in a leading role.
Yeah, this is his first ever lead.
I think so. As far as I'm aware, like he could have done something small, but I don't think he's done anything. Especially not on this level. But yeah, this is an action comedy. Very violent.
Yes.
Very gory.
There was moments, but funny. I was just like,
yeah. There's some moments. Which, if you've seen Jack Quaid stuff, you know that that's kind of a given now. Straight after watching The Boys, which he is mostly known for, which is also an incredibly violent show.
Yes.
Probably more violent than this, of course, but
but
Novocaine's pretty full on. It's MA.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it pushes MA. I was surprised that this got away with MA, considering there's very heavy gore and quite a lot of it.
Extremely heavy gore.
Okay, so I'll give the rundown as to what happens in this movie. Spoilers for Novocaine, if you haven't seen it and you don't want it spoiled. All of this is revealed in the trailers.
Yes, you can basically watch the trailer and then you will know the story.
Yeah, it's a very simple premise, which makes it fun because you don't have to think much about it while watching.
Exactly.
So basically, Nathan Kane is just an average office worker. Lives alone, plays video games a lot with his friend, works at a bank, but he can't feel pain. He suffers from a condition, I can't quite remember what it's called, but he can't feel any sort of pain sensations. His nerves are a little bit messed up. He was born with it, so he's got to be very careful about what he does, because if he cuts himself, he won't notice. If he chews solid food, he might bite his own tongue off and he wouldn't notice. He could break a bone and not notice.
Insensitivity to pain, CIP.
Yes, which it explains pretty in depth in the film. They go into a lot of the medical terms, which is cool, because there are people that suffer from this in real life. A lot of them don't go out and end up in chases and shoot people, but
and a lot of them don't make it to 25 or whenever, like, this character's how old he is. So
because it's so easy to injure yourself. Pain is the body's way of giving you a warning. I don't know, go punch a wall, you're gonna go ow, and then not do that again. Whereas he wouldn't notice. But basically, during his little bank job, he meets a girl. He ends up with a girlfriend, and everything's all going right for him in the world until he goes to work the next day, and 3 bank robbers dressed as Santa Claus show up, take a bunch of money, and kidnap his girlfriend.
Oh no!
So
the tragedy.
Oh no! Yeah. So what's Nathan Kane gonna do? Maybe, I don't know, call the police or just leave it to the proper authorities? Absolutely not. He steals a cop car, takes a cop's gun, and just chases after him.
He becomes John Wick.
Yeah, essentially, he becomes John Wick, but he doesn't know what he's doing, and it's great. The next 2 hours of him fumbling around, somehow winning fights, and just getting his ass kicked. A lot.
Yes.
Like a lot.
He gets everything from arrows shot at him to bullets going through him to fucking ball spikes hitting him in the back.
he gets his fingernails pulled off.
He breaks his thumb at some point, snaps
he
his
dislocates
hand
his
in
own
half.
thumb.
There's a bone that comes out of his arm at one point.
And he stabs someone with that. It's mental, and he can't feel any of it.
He's
but
like,
you know,
this is an
still
old
pass out.
Tuesday. It's fine.
He still gets hurt. He can still die. Pretty simple story, really.
Yeah.
The big thing is that his girlfriend's actually in on it. She's the sister of stepsister of one of the dudes that's robbing the bank. Oh no.
Tragedy.
So there's your tension there.
Yep.
That's kind of it. That's Novocaine.
That's Novocaine. Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is the shortest podcast ever.
Ned from Spider-Man: Homecoming. I forget his name. What's his name?
Jacob Bulletin. Batalon.
Jacob. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Jacob. He's in it. He's pretty funny.
Roscoe. Yeah. He's always funny when he pops up in films.
He's in it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to think. There's not a lot else happens in this movie.
No,
it's just Jack Quaid fumbling around.
That's the whole premise of watching this movie, and what it's all about is literally just watching this guy being like, oh, I met this girl and everything like that, so I gotta do what I do, because the night before they basically go on a date and everything like that, and she's like, you're basically a superhero. And he's like, what kind of, yeah, I am. And so he gets into that kind of mindset from there onwards, where he's like, I can do anything because I can't feel anything. And that's it. Yeah. It is a very like cheesy type of like this normal average film, but they put a spin on it being like, this guy can't feel pain, and it's funny to watch him suffer, even though he's not suffering. He just gets more and more stupid and shit every single time. And then when you think the movie ends, it's like, no, there's a whole ambulance chase scene. And he's just like, I'm going to smash my thumb off to get out of the handcuffs. And you just see it just pop. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. This film reminds me a lot of films like Crank. Is probably a good example.
Yes.
Where one
Actually,
premise
yep.
and you run with it. I love Crank. It is absolutely a batshit film. It's very similar to this in a way, just with less weird street sex. That's another conversation. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Speaking of Crank, they did a sequel where he has to like keep zapping himself with electricity to keep going. Have you seen that one? It keeps his heart going.
Oh, High Voltage. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was called. Yeah, that reminds me a little bit more of this too, where instead of keeping his art going, he's keeping his energy up. Because during this film, he's got to keep taking like morphine, or he defibrillates himself at one point.
Yeah,
any kind of adrenaline to keep himself going, because he can't really feel himself getting tired. He can't feel himself when he needs to pee. He has alarms set for every 3 hours, which is pretty funny. It keeps coming back up.
Otherwise his bladder could explode. And also as well, the cops they think he's in on it as well, because he's like taking it into his own hands. So they're the most like rational people out of this thing. They're acting just like normal cops would. Okay. And they're just like, who is this guy?
You say that, but the ending part just there's the excuse for the ambulance scene. It just like up until that point, the movie's I'd say fairly realistic, but it's not. It's silly. It's stupid. But I mean, at least the things that people are doing make sense. Right up on the end, when Jack Quaid and his girlfriend beat the bad guys, and they think they killed the one dude, the two police officers show up with an ambulance. They arrest
they shoot one. They shoot the guy or whatever, and they think he's dead.
They shoot him.
So
they think he's dead. They don't check the body. They don't take his gun. They don't do anything with the armed people, but they arrest like Jack Quaid, who's like passed out on the floor. Like it becomes this whole thing where it's just an excuse for the bad guy to break free again and have to take Jack Quaid away. That was probably the biggest thing in the movie that threw me, is just that one scene throwing all logic out the window to just keep the movie going for another 20 minutes, I suppose. Another 20 minutes. That took me out of it a little bit. It's going to lose some points for that severe logic stupidity.
Well, that's the thing. The whole gimmick of this movie, it is very stupid, very silly. And it is just one of those films where it is nice to put it on, not think about it, and be like, oh, this was actually quite a good time. And I'm glad that this film didn't go any longer than it did, because it was only like an hour and a half film. type thing.
Yeah.
The budget was only 18 mil as well.
Really?
Which was quite surprising by like a few of the things. Cool. But I suppose they kept it pretty like cheap on the casting with it. There's no many like big actor names or anything.
There's not many actors in general, really.
Yeah. Especially in that
like, there's only
act
3 bad guys
as well.
In the whole film, really. That he runs into a couple others that he ends up in fights with.
And it
like
was
the
also
tattoo
filmed
parlor.
in Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Which allowed them to do a lot of like street filming and because if they wanted to do it in an actual US city, it would have cost them a lot more.
Oh yeah, that turns into $100 million film.
Yeah, which I'm cool. It looked like America. I didn't know it was Cape Town. I mean, I'm sure they share a lot of similarities, especially with the set design that they did. And a lot of this film takes place in just specific locations. It jumps between essentially like houses and warehouses for a while, so it's not like you're looking at crowded streets or anything. Very good, low budget, fun time. And one that my entire family enjoyed, which was really surprising considering how violent it was.
Yeah, I just watched it by myself, so I was like, hey, this is a good fun time. I enjoyed it. I was like, hey, you know what? It had its humor moments. It had its little quirky things to it. But other than that, it was still just like average action movie with a gimmick to it, which at times works well. You know, and it does. And this is the case where this quirkiness to it worked really well. And there were moments, like even the fighting style, because obviously they were like, let's replicate John Wick style and everything like that. So it was kind of funny seeing Jack Quaid basically trying to be like a dumbed down John Wick, or someone thinking that they're John Wick, but they're not, essentially. Because he would have done, obviously, by now some fighting choreography and training for the boys and everything like that. But even for this, he's just like, I'm a guy type thing and everything like that. He tries to fight back, but it just never goes his way. The only advantage he has against the bad guys who have guns and stuff like that is that he obviously can't feel pain, and then he can just go like more on top of them. And there was obviously there's one scene that actually was shown quite a bit in the trailer where there's like this big buff tall tattoo man that he sees, and then like he's obviously getting wrecked by him, so he gets the glass that he got shattered by and like puts it into his hands type thing, so like the glass is literally sticking out of his like fingers, and then he just like hits the guy's eyes with it so he can't see and everything like that.
It's terrible. Ow.
Yeah.
That's that the glass got me. I was like, oh no, thank you. He deep fries his hand at one point. That's another
deep fries
thing that
his
keeps
hand.
getting shown. Puts it in order to grab a gun out of some like boiling oil. That looked painful.
He grabs like the bullet when he first gets shot out of his arm and everything like that. He just goes to the hardware store for one of his clients and everything like that. Nearly slices his neck open at the end when he's trying to get like caught up.
That's right.
Uses the bone that like the guy snapped out of his arm and everything like that to kill the final guy. That was a whole thing.
That one was probably the most out of all of the incredibly violent moments.
When that broke, I was like, I had to stare away. I was just like, nope.
And it's so well done. The special effects, including the violence in this film, was amazing. All of the, I'm just going to keep using the term violence because all of those scenes looked amazing. The fingernail stuff was crazy.
I forgot about that.
That was insane. I listened to an interview where he talked about doing that scene, and he said that it was incredibly hard to do because how they do it, it's fake fingernails layered on top of fake skin, so that it's very clearly, it's technically real. It's not like it's CGI, but it's special effects. And he said just even having that, it was terrifying. Because it felt like it was his real nail. And obviously he's got to play a guy that can't feel this. And also like jokingly pretend that he can in that specific scene in order to throw off the torturer. So he said that was the hardest scene in the film to do because he was actually genuinely terrified they were going to rip his fingernails off because it just felt like it. I don't know, through a phantom sensey sort of way of you're seeing a fingernail come off of your finger. And not let that get to you. That's pretty cool. That's pretty impressive. I would freak out If I was in that, I agree, Mr. Jack Quaid. That would be the hardest scene to film.
Yeah, like seeing that happen to you and everything like that.
Oh,
would just be like,
I don't do that. I don't do that. Are the arms snapping or whatever? I'd be fine with. Like, you can chop a guy's head off. I'm cool. If you're like putting like a fingernail getting ripped off or like a little needle under a fingernail, I've seen that a couple times. That's
yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. I I have a question, bro. So, Mr. Jack Quaid, as far as we are aware, this is his first big leading film role. Do you want to see him in more stuff, more different stuff, more things like this?
I think yes, and I think we will be and everything like that as well. I don't think like it'll be interesting to see like what type of stuff he does after The Boys, because currently, or they have filmed the final season of The Boys. Season 5 or whatever, and then that's it for them and everything like that. So it will be like interesting to see if he goes more in doing these types of films and like similar to The Boys and everything, like these high action violent type films and everything like that, and just plays as this dorky character in it, or if he goes more like, I want to do like more serious type of thing, because I know he was in one of the Scream films as well. He played as like one of the bad guys or something as well.
Yeah, okay.
In like one of the recent Screams, but this is his first ever film he's ever been like, you're the main guy, you're the lead and everything like that. So it will be like, I want to see him in more stuff, but I want him to see him in more varied stuff, like getting away from doing like stuff similar to The Boys, because since he's been doing that for the past how many years now.
Yeah. He always seems to be playing the same character. Yes. At least in a lot of things like that. The Boys and this especially. Even Star Trek Lower Decks. Like, he's always playing sort of the dorky, clumsy guy. And he's great at it. It seems like that's just him in real life. He's just sort of playing himself. I want to see him do some more varied stuff. Do some more serious roles. Maybe like take on a serious drama. Or even like a romance or something. Like, throw something out there. Try something different. I mean, he's killing these action roles. I want to see something unique. I mean,
he was in Oppenheimer. He was in Oppenheimer, but he basically played it as
like
himself.
2 minutes. Yeah, I don't count that. He was there for 2 minutes, man. He was like 1 or 2 scenes. It's fine.
He was in the Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun. He was there in one episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's crazy. He just shows up in things. He enjoys a lot of stuff, and I think he reaches out to a lot of those like YouTube creators and gets on a bunch of things.
Yeah, well, that's how he started. Like, he was
5-second films. He's on those guys a lot because he loves that. Yeah, he does a lot of just all sorts of things. Very cool. Seems like he's a cool dude. But yeah,
and when you're the son of Jack Quaid, I suppose you can do like whatever. Oh, not the son. What's his dad's name? Dennis Quaid. Yeah, I suppose you can do like
his son or is
whatever
he
you
nephew?
want.
I don't remember.
No, it's his son. Like it's direct. Yeah, son. Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because there was a whole like YouTube video about that where he's like, "No, he's not my actual dad." And blah blah blah. It's actually quite funny, that one.
Okay.
Because they were trying to get like funding for like a short film or whatever. He's like, "No, we're not gonna call my dad." And then they end up calling his dad, and his dad starring in it.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, no, he's got a few things going on at the moment. He's got a lot of TV series by the looks of it. So obviously, he's got The Boys season 5 coming out. He's got one called Miss. Yeah, just called Miss.
Okay.
Another TV series, 1 episode, and then the Ren and Stimpy show reboot. He does a voice for.
The what?
This is new to me.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
For the Ren and Stimpy show.
This is breaking news. We've never had breaking news on the show. This is big. This might be the biggest thing you've ever brought up. Hang on, confirm this, Barry, because Ren and Stimpy
show reboot.
Oh God, no! This is going to be terrible, isn't it?
Oh wow! Oh no! They're rebooting it. No, it's going to be like Futurama.
Yeah, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy was good for about 2 seasons, and then they got really weird with it.
There was only ever 2 seasons, and then that's all
was
there
it 2
ever
seasons?
was. Yeah.
No, okay, no, it was really good for 1 season, and then the second season was a little weird.
It was weird from the get go.
Yeah, but I loved it. It was like, as a kid, when you see Ren and Stimpy on at like 10 p.m. on like Cartoon Network or
I
whatever,
have them on VHS
you're like, what the hell?
Somewhere.
You're like, what the hell is this? And it doesn't make any sense, but you're like, I'm enthralled. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
When they're like, don't piss on the electric fence. That's like the funniest thing ever. It's not funny, but it is.
No.
Please do not bring this show back, Jack Quaid, actually. Change my mind.
Well, because he's done quite a few like voiceover stuff for a lot of like animated things
Star Trek.
where he's Star Trek, Lower Decks, for example. Superman for My Adventures in Superman with Superman.
That's right.
Solar Opposites. He's in that. Like he's done quite a bit. He's even in one episode of Family Guy. Did a voice for a character.
Oh wow.
Spider-Verse. He was there across the Spider-Verse. He was a Peter Parker. Did the voice for Batman.
Makes sense.
The Long
he gives off a
Halloween
Peter Parker vibe.
animated ones.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's done quite a few things. He was in Rampage.
He was in Rampage.
And he was also
he
in-
talked about being in Rampage.
Yeah, Middle
I heard him
Earth,
talk
Shadow
about
of
that. He
War.
was in one scene.
He was in
He was in
that
Shadow
game.
of War?
Is
is he an orc?
Dahal. Voice
Yeah.
uncredited.
Oh. I might have to fire that up and see if I can find it.
Yeah. Damn, he's been in quite a few things.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, he's done a little bit more voice work than I thought he had.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love it. I love actors that also do a lot of voice work, and they're
So
good at
do
both.
I.
That's always
I
fun.
have a plan now. Editor, just to make sure to get up that
Ignoring Barry,
picture
yeah.
of Jack Quaid again next to him.
I'm not Jack Quaid. Like,
I think you are. If we
I'm
ever had
nothing
to
like
do,
Jack
like,
Quaid.
a
I'm so much
version
cooler.
of your life, I would just get him to play you.
But I'm live action. I'm not a drawing. Like,
No.
Barry, I'm a real person.
You
just get me to play myself.
You're a tiny man on a tiny screen. That's all I
Jack
ever
Quaid's
see.
older than me. If anything, I'd be playing him in his biographical film. In his biopic, I'd be playing Jack Quaid. Not that I look like him or anything. Like, just clarifying. Putting that out there for clarification.
Okay,
all right, well,
So final thoughts and ratings.
why don't... Yes. I'm sitting on a 7. And it's a very loose 7.
Yeah.
Because I just had a lot of fun with this film. It's a turn your brain off, enjoy it popcorn movie.
Yes.
Nothing more. And you're not going to get anything more out of it. And don't try to, because it'll only lower your score.
Yes.
Good fun time. That's
fun
kind
time.
of it. Yeah, I mean it's great. It does what it wants to do. That's it. Yeah, 7 out of 10 from me.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. That's the thing. Yeah, it's just one of those films. Like it's a good time and everything like that. And that's, I suppose, the biggest goal and what you want it to be, type thing of a kind of film like this. Like you don't want it to go too long. You just kind of want to like express that gimmick that they had for it and like run with that, because there are films and everything like that where they do have like this unique gimmick to basically like a horror film or like another action film and everything, and they never run with it fully, type thing, where this is like the first film in a long time where I've seen that it's like, let's do that throughout the entire film, and it just progressively gets even worse and worse and worse, well, better and better, I should say, with what they do
Better
to
for
him
us.
and everything like that. Yeah, better
Worse
for the
for Jack
audience.
Quaid.
Worse for Jack Quaid. So if I ever see him, I'm going to punch him in the face. So next time I see you,
See if
I'm
he
going to
feels
punch
it?
you in the face.
There, I can feel pain. I'm not
I
Nathan
don't think
Kane.
you can.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, 7 out of 10 from me. 6 out of 10 from Barry. If you want to enjoy an hour and a half of just non-stop fun, violence, and humor, I guess, just an entertaining thrill ride for an hour and a half, give it a watch. I'd recommend it.
Yeah.
Very fun. It's a very general audience thing. If you can stomach the violence, or you're willing to close your eyes every couple minutes, you'll enjoy this immensely. Well, that's Novocaine.
That's
Second half
Novocaine.
of today's podcast, Barry. Why don't we talk about the new episode of Daredevil Born Again?
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's a show that's happening.
Did you-
I forget what
There's a
happened in this week's episode.
What do you mean? This was the Punisher. Like that. They were teasing.
Oh, yeah,
they put
that's
out
right.
entire new trailers. They dropped like a new banner on Disney Plus for it, which is showing the scene. They were
Lots
banking
happened
this whole
past week
episode
for
on
us.
that.
Yeah, and tell you what, that was honestly like the founding moment. Now I have fully faith in this show. Now is because of that scene with Punisher and Daredevil. Well, I suppose this is Matt and everything like that.
I have
He's not
faith in
suited
the
up
reboot
yet.
shots, the reshoots.
Yeah. Because all the Punisher
show
stuff
is-
is all the reboots as well.
Oh, reshoots, yeah. John Bernthal wasn't going to be in the show initially until they reshot it the second time, and were
Because
like,
he like
"We've
read the
rewritten it."
script or whatever, and they're just like, "That's
Said
shit."
this is bad, which is crazy considering this is Marvel. Like these are the guys who are going to give you $1 bazillion, and you say, "No, I'm not doing it. It's shit." That's
but it's
I
John
wanna
Bernthal
read
as
this
well.
script. Yeah, but it's Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Like- Charlie Cox came back for She-Hulk.
True. But I think
Iman
Charlie Cox
Voslanyi
needs
came
more
back for the
money
Marvels.
than John Bernthal does, because John Bernthal just
reckon?
appears in everything. He's in the Odyssey now. He's currently filming the Odyssey.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They bring people back for crazy things.
Yeah, and I'm glad he came back as Frank again, because that's I really loved like the first season of the Punisher show, and I've always loved the Punisher character.
Yeah.
And everything, even like the old films and like as a comic book character as well. It's just like so cool because you can just do much like John Wick action-esque stuff with him and everything like that. And that's why I'm super looking forward to the special that they're currently writing and everything like that, and seeing how all that comes about, because like he's also co-writing it with them and everything like that. And I'm glad that they're just doing a special for him, not an actual like another TV show.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, a special or a film would have been amazing. Special was great. So, okay, this episode 3, Daredevil Born Again. It basically opens right after White Tiger is being killed, which was the stinger of the last episode. We're like, oh shit, what's happening? They killed the White Tiger. He didn't even get out and get to have any fun. They did him really dirty. And then they ignore him for this entire episode. They forgot about him. Because he's not relevant to anything that happens in this hour of TV, which was really funny. Because I was like, what? Just going to ignore the fact that your client got killed? They gloss over that. Charlie Cox is not that affected by it at all. Instead spends half of this episode defending a guy who stole popcorn before going to meet the Punisher.
And then he thought it was a Skrull.
Let's talk about that. No, he joked about it being a Skrull.
Yeah.
That was funny,
was
and
it?
I
It
do
was a
like little
Skrull.
jokes and that. It was a Skrull. It's how would you debate that? Actually, that's honestly a genuinely good good thing to pull in court. It was a Skrull. It wasn't me. Which that's really funny. That
and then we
introduces
obviously got
some
more stuff going on with Fisk and Vanessa. Like it's more about like their therapist sessions as well. A lot more this episode as well. And I like what they're doing with this show. Like they're really like half and halving it with like, all right, for half of it we'll see moments of Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, and then for the other half we'll see what Matt Murdock is doing and everything like that.
Yeah.
And obviously like that brings up the whole thing when he goes to see Frank and everything like that, because obviously he like wants to track down whoever killed the people, because it's got the Punisher symbol on the ammo casing, on the bullet
shell
casing.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, what are you doing type thing. And then obviously Frank has to bring up Froggy and all those types of things.
Froggy?
And then
Foggy.
Not Froggy.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Froggy.
Okay, so let's talk about that. The Punisher scene was the best scene of the show so far. How we got them, like, does Daredevil know where the Punisher is? Like, he just kind of knew where he was.
Yeah, he just keeps tabs on
it.
it.
It didn't explain.
No, he just
That's a
like
little
rocks
weird.
up. Well, that's the
Just
thing. I
knows.
feel like, because since he is still Daredevil, even though he's not acting as Daredevil anymore, he still like would know where Frank would have to be, and probably like a few other people and stuff like that, just to
Like he'd
keep
have some
tabs on
idea.
him.
It would have been good if he, I don't know, maybe he had like an address written down on a piece of paper or something, like just a note or a map, just anything to give us some idea of where he's going, because he just saw the shell the bullet casing, and then just walked into like an alley into this basement and was like, hey Frank, what are you up to? And he's just there. It's like,
Frank's
you
just
serious?
like,
You think this guy might have
gonna
shot
kill
your
you.
client? And then Frank jumps him. Which is, it's weird because he's like, hey, did you kill my friend, like my client? And then I don't know. That felt a little weird. The setup.
Well,
of the
obviously
scene.
he knows that Frank wouldn't have killed him because he doesn't
Yeah,
actually
he-
like. Yeah,
He just wanted to talk to him about that, which
Yeah.
I mean, I guess makes sense. You see a Punisher logo on a bullet, you're going to go talk to the Punisher,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He might have a lead or anything. Instead of talking about that, they talk about Foggy, and they talk about the fact he's not Daredevil anymore,
Yep.
and that Punisher's trying to do everything he can out there, and it's getting tough for him.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah, Punisher's full beard now. He looks a little
he's
bit
gone back to the
disheveled.
beard again.
Yeah, he looks cool. I dig it.
Yeah,
Some
well,
people
that's
weren't
because it's
keen on the
been
beard.
obviously
I
like
dig it.
some time and everything like that. So like
Yeah.
I like the crazier version of like them introducing him into it. Obviously, like he will be coming into more episodes later on where he obviously shaves up because we've seen behind the scenes and stuff like that. Of like there will be like action pieces coming soon and everything like that. But it's just like John Berthel is just like one of those actors where every single scene in any film or any like thing that he does, you always like gravitate towards him because he always makes himself like big and loud, and it's just like one of the most
he's a crazy
interesting
guy.
moments. Exactly, and everything like that.
He's
And it's just like it
insane.
works so well in this scene as well because like obviously he explains to Matt being like, oh, like obviously you think about Foggy, like what I think about is my son. My son talks to me every single day and he's like, go get those bad people, daddy. That's what keeps him going. So then
Yeah.
he's like asking Matt, being like, what keeps you going? And he's just like, the system and everything. He's like, what do you mean the system? Fucking Bullseye's like got life. What about Foggy, man? Did Foggy get life? Yeah.
Very much pushing him to put the mask back on, which is
Yes.
it's needed. He needs to be Daredevil. He's not doing very much good in this show, at least.
Well,
just
it's not
being Matt
working.
Murdock.
It's not
No, it's not.
working. And he's starting to
defends
realize
a guy
that
and he
as
gets
well.
shot.
Yep.
He knows it's not working. So he's gonna have to put the mask back on because
Which does happen kind of at the end of the episode.
Well,
he goes
he
into
gets
his
the
little
batons.
he get his
Yeah.
little cave and everything. He checks there and he gets his batons and he starts going whoa, 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 whoa.
We see like 5 costumes.
Yeah. Because apparently already
Like,
for
yeah.
season 2, behind the scenes leaks might reveal another new costume as well.
Oh yeah,
which I'm looking forward to seeing.
This is Disney Marvel.
Yeah.
They need to give a new costume every single episode so they can
Yeah.
sell a new toy. Like
Yeah.
that's just how this works.
They're
I'm
giving
fine
him
with
the
it
black
because
and red costume, and like that one looks
See
cool in
that?
the comics.
that would be cool. I hope they change it enough that it's not just like a color scheme swap.
Yeah,
that a lot of
I
the-
hope it like it's a
there.
fully change
And
up.
I really hope they give him the DD on the chest because that's the
Yes,
only thing the
yes.
suit's missing, and I don't know why
Yep.
it's not there.
Yeah,
Like
it
it,
needs
makes
to be
no
there.
sense for it not to
It
be
needs
there.
to be there.
It doesn't change anything if it is there. It just makes it look more like Daredevil. Ben Affleck had
and I
it on his chest, for God's
suppose
sake.
we should also talk about we got to see more of Muse as well this episode.
We
of
did.
him picking up bodies and draining their blood to use for his paintings. Because that's what he does.
Straight up, he's just got a guy. He's just got a guy, and he's draining him of blood. And we're like, oh, this is a little wacky.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sold on that. Like, it was cool to see Muse, but I'm also like, wouldn't it be so much better if we didn't see Muse and we just heard about this shit happening?
Yes.
Because like it's doing a lot of jumping around, and we're seeing a lot of the BB reports, which I think are really cool ways
Yep.
to transition. Where
Have you
it's like news from
also-
around New York.
I don't know if you
That would
also
be
saw
perfect.
this, and there's also like you
not
have to pay
sure.
close attention to it. I think in a couple episodes now, we've seen like there's these murals being painted in New York City and like in the BB
yeah.
reports. They're actually done by Muse because you see his little logo down the bottom.
See,
You
I remember
see
seeing some
Muse,
of those. Yeah, it was like one with wings or something in this episode.
There was one
or-
with like wings, and then there was one for
I remember seeing that.
Fisk. That was like showing him
Yeah.
being good and everything as the mayor, and then one of them being like the evil version of Fisk, which we also see that contrast again. He is still an evil person. He's
got Adam.
a guy Adam locked up in a cage, which was the person
His
banging
wife's
his
lover.
wife. Yeah,
That was we know he's back into being
yeah.
Wilson Fisk, which ties it into the first episode scene, which was the best scene of that episode, where Fisk and Matt Murdock talk, and they're like, if
Yes.
either of us start doing it, the other one's going to do it. If you go back to being
Yep.
Fisk, I'm putting on the mask, I'm coming for you. And if you
Yeah.
put on the mask, I'm going to come for you as the pig kingpin.
Yes.
The end of this episode, they're both kind of doing it at the same time, so they're both going to end up on a collision course again once they realize that, oh shit, we both kind of started
Yeah.
doing this again. which is always fun. I love two characters this well written at odds with each other.
Yep.
The biggest downside for this episode is the first half. First half an hour is boring. Him trying to defend a guy who stole popcorn.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to feel a little bit sad for this dude.
I feel like that was like maybe part of the original, like.
I think it was. That was the case of the week thing they were doing.
Yeah. Because it also felt like the whole Skrull joke. It felt very like, oh, let's tie it into our other stuff.
It felt weird.
It felt weird. It felt a bit weird.
Not at any point do we or Matt Murdock like care for this guy or try and help him in any way apart from shortening his sentence because he was just being annoying. And we're like, man, we're just trying to do you a favor. Can you like shut up? And he's just like bullying Matt, and he's just like, you're a blind guy. What do you care? Like piss off, sort of thing. Like I should just get away with this. And the dude's like, hey man, you've done this like 10 times. We're giving you 6 days in prison. And he's like, I can't do that, man. That's crazy. And I'm like, you serious? Like you're stealing like 5 boxes of popcorn and you're freaking out over 6 days in prison, and now you're yelling at a blind guy. I hated that character. I was like, man. Like,
and I feel like that maybe would have been part of the original things for it. But that's the thing. Other than that, like we still got 5 episodes left for the season. They're doing 9 episodes for this first season, and everything like that. So there still is quite a bit like they're doing, and that's the thing. I'm so glad about this show as well. They're doing like the full 40-minute length or 50-minute length like episodes. Unlike all their other 40, ones, all their other shows and everything like that is like 25 less than 30 minutes type thing.
First episode,
including credits.
It's always 50 minutes. First episode's always like a full hour, 50 minutes, whatever. And then the next episode's like 25, 30, 40. And then it's such weird variances.
Because they even did it with Skeleton Crew as well. Like that was just so annoying.
And even things like Mando, like the shortest episode was like 28 minutes. It's weird that the episodes are so varying because you go from that TV landscape of you think each thing's the same. Like you're sitting in a half an hour block, you're sitting in an hour block. But because it's streaming, there's no time blocks, so things can be short, things can be long, and sometimes.
And now they're changing it back again, as you and I both know, because they're putting ads back into streaming services, so that it's like, hey, do the normal ad structure again.
Let's talk about that because that pisses me off. Okay, so I resubscribed to Disney Plus, in order to watch this show and Andor coming up. I was like, you know what, I'll pay for these 2 shows because I really want to watch these shows. I launch it up. I go, okay, watch episode. 2-minute unskippable ad. Advertising shit that I had to scroll past in order to find the Daredevil show anyway.
I haven't gotten that yet.
It was like a full sizzle reel of Disney Plus trailers, and I couldn't skip it. I couldn't back out or anything. I was genuinely like pissed off. I'm paying like $16. Yeah, it's like, and because the price increased, and it's just increased again. It's like $17 a month now or something insane for the premium, for the generic version. You can pay for with ads now for like 10 or whatever it is. I'm not going to do that because I don't want ads in my streaming shows that aren't made for ads, right? Like I pay for streaming to avoid that shit.
It's just going back again.
I'm genuinely pissed off at this because it's ads for Disney stuff. They're not gaining any money from it.
No.
The only thing they're getting is people seeing shit, but you see that on the homepage when you find the show anyway.
Yep.
So I'm more pissed off at that than if it was just like an ad for like a pharmacy popped up in the middle. I'd be like, what the hell is this? But that makes sense because they're giving Disney money. This is Disney just slapping themselves on the ass and then making you pay for it.
Then it's like, oh, look at all the other stuff we've made.
I hate that. I hate it so much. I'm paying for your thing. I know what you have.
Yeah.
Just play the fucking episode, man.
Corporations, that is why Netflix are going to be starting to do the same thing. Prime have already been doing it for the past 2 years now, and it's just progressively gotten worse.
Touched Prime.
Prime do it, like they have it in, so if you got like I've been watching Reacher at the moment, and if you have like, so that's around 40 plus minutes long, 50 minutes long per episode, and so they have 3 sets of ads through it. So like one in the first 15 minutes, and then another 15 minutes, and then one right at the end when there's like 5 minutes left of the episode.
I hate that so much. That it genuinely pisses me off that we've gone full circle into streaming services being from being amazing and well worth the price to just being more slop, dude. Overpriced, under
And
content.
this is why
filled
piracy
and
has
full of ads.
skyrocketed at the moment again because of all this. Yeah.
They wonder why people pirate things. I really want to pay for media that I consume. And you look behind me, YouTube viewers, plug the YouTube videos real quick. You can see us on YouTube. We're on there every week. I have an insane collection of physical media. And that's not even all of it. There's more on each side wall. But like, I pay for that because I want it. I buy a DVD. I don't have an ad in the middle. If I buy a DVD and there is an ad in the middle, I'm returning it. And
if I ever saw that, I would
fucking
I'd break it. I'd be like,
but that's not gonna happen
this.
because they don't even care. They don't make DVDs anymore. Disney don't. So
kind of. Hang on, they do.
It pisses
they
me
still
off.
do. It's just hard to get in Australia now.
Yeah, bullshit. I don't hate it. It's stupid. Just make
because you can get their Marvel shows and stuff like that. Their big shows on like 4K and everything. Because they're like, oh, here's WandaVision
they
season
release
1
them
and
as,
Mandalorian season 3
as collectibles though, and they overprice. That's what they do.
Like
it's like, it's like
$100
a
each.
limited thing, and it's just
and I'm just like,
bullshit.
go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
I won't get it.
Yeah, it's all just greed, and I hate it so much. That pisses me off. Go watch Novocaine. Fuck Disney.
Go watch Daredevil.
Watch Daredevil, but we're not telling you not to pirate it.
Just go watch it in any way you feel necessary. That's the thing. This is still a very well-written show. I'm enjoying it. I am excited. It's definitely got me excited for each and every coming episode that's come out now, which hasn't happened for a TV show in quite some time. I will say probably since like Andor came out. Season 1.
I probably agree, which is
and
a shame.
that's
Apart from maybe
also
Invincible.
coming soon. Oh yeah, and Invincible, and like Andor's coming soon as well. So while you have your Disney subscription as well, you know you got that coming and everything like that. But just be aware that it's just like how the model of streaming stuff, and we could do a full podcast about this, and maybe we will talk about it one day. That is just how things are and everything like that now, unfortunately. Like, I remember when Netflix first started and it was really cheap. It was like less than $10 and everything like that. And it was like a really good time. And now it's just like 30 plus, I think $40 a month or some shit.
Yep. And you need 7 of them in order to watch everything.
Yes. Yep.
I love capitalism, said no one ever.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's everything then for this week's podcast. I know it's a little bit of a short one and everything like that, but yeah, we kind of quick turnaround time. Hopefully we can keep on track with things, get it more regularly out, make sure to like see how things go in the future, and hopefully we're trying to get more interviews and everything like we did with Mark Zanasoff.
I'm working on it
and stuff like that. We're trying to get people. We're trying to do more things. There's even projects you and I are working on at the moment that we wish we could share to everyone right now, but we currently cannot, which is a shame. But you know, when those things, everything starts to happen, you'll be the first people to know about it, probably. So.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa,
you know
even
about it like 3
before
weeks
Jack
later.
Quaid does.
I'm not Jack Quaid.
I'm pretty sure you're Jack Quaid, all right?
Press the goddamn outro
all
button,
right.
bro.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. Make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe in all the places, and follow us on all our social medias. Links are down below. We're everywhere on Instagram, Twitter. Well, I'm on Twitter anyway. Just follow me there, same as Clayton. We post stuff. He posts music stuff. I don't post anything. But thanks for joining, and we'll catch you in next week's episode.
Yeah, I'm
Goodbye,
not on
Jack
Twitter.
Quaid.
Fuck Twitter. Don't go on Twitter. We're not doing that. We might have a TikTok soon too. Keep an eye out for that.